Alright, hello everyone. I'm Crucify, and this is ORAS OT round 1. We have James versus Scraftionite today. He's definitely someone that's known for ORAS, I would say. They've played it in World Cup and PL. While James is the classic champion, but did not play a singular ORAS game to win Classic, so there's that. But they did qualify Cycle 1 as the 3rd seed, so they're the 4th seed in playoffs, and Scraftionite is the 13th seed. Scraft qualified, hold on, let me take a guess. Scraft qualified in the 3rd cycle, literally in like 45 minutes. It was honestly really impressive in a dead cycle. I want these guys to turn the timer on so this doesn't take forever. But anyway. So I'll just get into the matchup. We have Victini, Venusaur, Tyranitar versus Zapdos, Metagross, Garchomp. So yeah, James in qualifying only used like 2 teams, and they were both Fire, Rock, Grass teams. So it's kind of unsurprising to see him use Fire, Rock, Grass. Then Scraft has Slice's trusty Zapdos. No, looking at the matchup, dude, Sub Chomp would win here. If it's Gold Sub Mega Chomp, it wins, but I don't know if Scraftionite has the sauce. Zapdos is honestly not bad because Tyranitar's a hard pick here. It obviously depends on what Zapdos said it is, and it also depends on what Victini said it is. It depends on a lot. I personally know that Scrap was using some sub. I think it was some Toxic Zapdos on the ladder. I think I played him with or something. I have my thingies on. I need to turn my Do Not Disturb off. Anyone VC, I am recording. People are being autists in the Pepe Business server. Speaking of Pepe Business, the predicts for this series I believe were the closest of the round 1. And yeah, it was 12 to 15. Scraftionite had 15. Yeah, I think this is one of the closer matchups as well. Even though James is not an ORAS player, he's honestly good. 1v1 people like, especially band juicers, give him a lot of crap, but he's honestly pretty good. I'm not on some big ride shit, but he did win 1v1 Classic. For whatever that's worth. Victini is super. I don't know. Trying to think about what Victini said it is. I think it's Specs. I mean, I would be Specs, but I think James might just be running weakness policy. I think Zapdos, like, low-key is going to be Victini if that matchup happens. I'm not sure if Scraf is gonna click the Zapdos here. I don't know. Kind of a weird matchup. Metagross defeats Venusaur unless it's like Sleep Powder, Leech Seeds type stuff. Because you can stay regular and have clear body and get meter mesh raises, while Venusaur can't touch you and it can't charm you. And it defeats T-Tar obviously. So I think maybe James does go Metagross here. Or I mean, James goes Victini into the Metagross. I'm not sure what James is going to expect from the Zapdos either, because this isn't a common ORAS mon and he's not. He doesn't have that much experience outside of the ladder, and Zapdos wasn't common on ladder. I do have the music back, let's go. Alright, we have to pick. Oh wow, we do see the Tyranitar come out, we do see the Garchomp from Scrapped. Is this Mega Chomp? Chomp loses, I think. Like T-Tar can just click counter. Or in like Avalanche as well. This is probably Scrapped pick into Victini, not trusting Zapdos to defeat it. Oh, we do see the SD. We see the counter. Is this sub? Is it Mega Chomp really? Is what I said at the start correct? Cause yeah, this super wins if it's sub Mega Chomp. I didn't really need to say anything else there, but it gotta fill time. I don't know. Really was screwed by this though. Yeah, which I probably didn't put enough attention to. Yes, there's always Shukaberry Victini with Glaciate. Scrap's thinking for some reason. He SDs again. Okay. I mean, fair. He's Mega, so I guess not Mega Chomp. Did we see Life Orb? No, we did not. Wonder what item that was then. I mean, surely you just click the Mega Evolution if you have it. And you can just click Sub if you have it too. Turn 1 even. But anyway. 1-0 for Scraps. What is this? Gym Leader music from Sword and Shield. Pepe Hands. Pepe Hands game. Yeah, a lot of these it's a Fire Rock Grass team that doesn't have a Surf is getting owned by Chomp. So yeah. Except Archops can also defeat Garchomp if we're just running Outrage. Not Switcheroo Rest, which is another comment set on that mod. Anyway, let's see. Game 2. I don't know, James likes to jump between games. Both these pairs like to jump between games, actually. James is more of a TPP and black-white player, I suppose I should mention. And then game 2, we have... oh, there's an Archops. Archops, Landorus, Therian, Heracross versus Gyarados, Heatran, Lucas. I'm just gonna say right off the bat that Scraftionite is pretty 3-0'd by Heracross. Unless we see Scarf Heatran or some other fast Heatran. So that's not good for him. I think this is like a super forced matchup too. Because, I mean, you can go something in Hope. I think maybe Togekiss and Hope for Rock Blast Miss is another viable thing. I mean, that's assuming that this Togekiss is T-Wave, which is slower than Heracross. You have to remember ORAS speed mechanics where basically the move gets inputted first before the Pokemon Mega evolves, so it has the speed that it has as a regular form, so Heracross isn't slowed down. So, like, if you look at Heracross, I should just actually do Heracross. I mean, most people know this, but I'll explain it anyway. Heracross Mega, yeah, we have 10 base speed higher. But that speed's relevant a lot of times, mainly in like the speed creep core with Heatran, because you do like to run a lot of bulk with Heracross, especially because this is probably the grand answer on this team. Seems like weird from James. Landorus plus Archeops seems very redundant, honestly. I guess it's like fine. Wonder what set this is. It's probably not coming out here, so we'll never know, but could be a lot of things, honestly. AV, Specs, Scarf even, that's another thing that exists. I mean, this is probably choice band Archeops, if I had to guess. Maybe with Outrage, because he doesn't really need another counter to Registeel, considering there's a Heracross. I kind of like this though. What? Gohar got banned from Pepe business? What is this, dude? Oh my god, I need to re-invite Gohar to Pepe business. Anyway, I think this is a Mega Heracross 3-0, so I have the time to. Oh, someone already unbanned him. Okay, invites, copy link. Okay. What is this? Oh, Champion Cynthia. I probably should have recognized that. Yeah, we probably do see a Mega Heracross. I've said that like 3 times. Scrap doesn't really have an out to it. I mean, maybe James could what even is the over prediction for James here? I guess going Archeops on this potential Scarf or Specs Togekiss. but I don't see that happening. I don't know why James is taking so long. Guess I mean, thinking is fine, but it's just, this is like one of the best Mega Heracross matchups that you could hope for. Okay, let me stop being monkeys while I record. Okay, actually I'm not gonna send that. Okay, whatever. These guys are really milking their timers. There's not much else to talk about. Pepe hands. I guess there is potential for it to be Scarf Heat Ran, honestly. Gyarados, like all three of these Pokemon low-key beat Charizard. So yeah, Charizard is just like a hard pick to make into this team. I mean, with sub you beat Togekiss. And there's some Charizard Mega Y sets that beat Gyarados. Except if they lack Stone Edge, but most of them run Stone Edge in December 2021. This is the last round 1 matchup. Ecstatic Code and Smelly played without linking. Anyway, we see Heracross and we do see the Togekiss. Alright, are we gonna see a Rock Blast miss? Are we gonna see James not have Rock Blast? So many questions. Might not have Rock Blast. That's something that's possible. Guess we'll see. If this is Scarf Respects, then Scraft's just gonna win. Nobody's running Jolly Heracross. Except LRXC. We did it like that's like a meme that. Oh my god, okay. Mega Rock Blast. That did 20! Whoa, that did 0 damage. Oh, the crit, wow. Wait, I mean, these are like rolls. We see 20, 19, 19. Those are some rolls, dude. That's some shit. I'm not counting, but those are some rolls, man. Because 20 times 5 equals 100, but he was getting some 19s. And I mean, I have no idea what the roll is. Wow, Togekiss almost won that. That's crazy. It was God Keyberry Togekiss at 1. What is this? I didn't play ORAS Battle Wally. Guess. So yeah, anyway, XSC and Smelly played without linking, so I'll probably do a replay for them later today. And I can't upload super fast anymore because I'm back at home from college, so it probably will take some time to upload after series. I don't have like 200 megabytes per second upload speed anymore. Anyway, series is 1-1, waiting for game 3. 6 1v1. And then round 2 will go up after. The winner of this plays Lancer, I believe. Where's game 3? Man, this is what I'm saying about those people, Johnny. James' team was interesting though. Just to reiterate from last game. Right, so we see game 3 Gardevoir, Garchomp, Genesect versus Gengar, Rhyperior, Charizard. Their first Charizard of the series. James is probably running Banchomp. He probably doesn't have the swag to run SD or Megachomp. Or, I mean, yeah, you can run SD on just regular Life Orb Chomp. That's something Smelly Socks ran. Probably Scarf Genesect, and then Encore, the standard Gardevoir, is what I would guess. And we see Gengar, Mega, Rhyperior, Charizard. So the Rhyperior is the Charizard answer, probably. We could be seeing the Super Spit F AV or Rendell Berry that beats allegedly beats Charizard, but you 50-50 it if it's X, because it loses to 2 outrages from Charizard Mega X if you Rock Blast and don't kill. I would guess his Charizard is Y based on the fact that it's paired with a Rhyperior, but I think this might be counter Gengar, because this reminds me of the Edgar vs. KF series, where his Gyarados answers Sus Among Us. It's not that, I mean, it's honestly pretty good in this matchup. Unless it's Psychic Scarf Genesect. If it's Disable, you can just card Disable versus Gen. Because, I mean, I would definitely think that it's Scarf Genesect and ban Chomp on this. I think James might be calculating the Chomp versus Rhyperior damage, because Rhyperior is also a very, very good pick here. He has to watch out for Rough Skin, obviously. If he like clicks Avalanche and then he's in range of Rough Skin, he's gonna lose. Graph could also, I mean, nah. Kinda just a 50-50, but it's better for Scraps, because all 3 of his mods could potentially come out. You have Charizard beating Gardevoir. Well, I mean, there's Gardevoir sets that win, obviously, but you would expect Charizard to win more often than not. Then beats Genesect, then Rhyperior can beat Garchomp. Oh wait, you don't run counter on Rhyperior, I just realized. You run Metal Burst, so you can't lose to Rough Skin. That's if you're running Metal Burst. I was thinking Avalanche, but that's probably not a thing. Then Metal Burst loses the sub, obviously, NSD. And then you have Gengar, which is kind of a questionable mon in this matchup. I think Gengar's a questionable mon to pick, yeah. I revised my decision answer and make it just a 50-50. Pretty confident, I don't know. I really think it's counter, because this is just terrible Gyarados matchup. It's also Gengar in the first slot, which is like Potato Chan logic. I think everyone knows this song. So James clicked, he also unclicked, worth noting. They're talking about and the So I was reading that on the side. We see the Garchomp come out into the Rhyperior. So Rhyperior can click Metal Burst here. Or Avalanche, as I Pepe Dumb instead. I wonder if this EQ might actually... there's no way this EQ kills. Yeah, I gotta spend more than 3 mins on my builds. Pepe excuses. I mean, James has brought DFS, Fire Rock Grass, and then some Pepe hands, Archeops plus Nandots. Nando T. Nando.T. Nando there for me. They're thinking though. Maybe James does not have the sauce to run as sub SD Chomp, honestly. Scrap is thinking though. Yeah, Scrap has not picked Gengar, but Gengar is, I don't know. Gengar's kind of a strange pick here. I guess if you're Solar and you're Hypnogar, you pick it, but I think that's counter to attempt to beat Gyarados. And we don't run no, who is this? Dude, that did 71. It was counter too, it wasn't even Metal Burst. Damn, what? I was right the first time. And the EQ just didn't do enough to put it into Rough Skin range. Wow. Anyway, so 2-1 Scraftionite. I predicted Scrap to win, by the way. I think Scrap is more experienced than ORAS. I forgot to say that when I was talking about the predictions. Unbiased host, by the way. Not biased, I just predict who I think is gonna win. 2-1 Scrap, waiting on game 4. This could have been a 3-0 if 1, the Rock Blast missed, and then 2, the rolls. I don't know, dude. Those rolls, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Toic has lived, honestly, more often than not, after seeing the 2 19s. Dude, let's go. We gotta skip let's go. Is there from anything good? GSC? GSC kinda goes hard. Even though we're playing ORAS. I had to grab some water. The loser of this obviously goes to loser's bracket, and it's gonna play DEG. Bracket in the description. I don't know, dude. This Rhyperior probably could have lost to Genesect, unless it's both Counter and Metal Burst Pepe hands. But Genesect is a Uka Buka pick here, kinda. I think James might have lost. I don't know. Alright, we see James uses Team a lot on the ladder. And then we see Venusaur, Tyranitar, Genesect from Scrapped. Yeah, I don't remember what any of James' sets are though, but this is one of those Fire, Rock, Grass teams that he was using on ladder. So off the bat, Venusaur looks quite good. It might be Charizard Mega Y just because of that, or it could just be Sub X, I don't remember. Could be either. And we have a similar situation to last game with the Genesect and Rhyperior. Let me think. I don't remember what James runs on his Rhyperior either. He might be... Is he custom? No. I mean, you'd think he would be like Eevee for one of the sets that tries to be Charizard. I wonder if those sets can lose to Tyranitar. Because I don't think EQ is gonna kill T. Because EQ is actually definitely not gonna kill Tyranitar. We'll see. Scraf can definitely just pick Venusaur here. Venusaur's pretty free, as long as that has Charm. But he could expect Charizard Y in the Venusaur answer, as they said. But Scraf's definitely going one of Venusaur or Tyranitar, and then James is going to go into Serp or Charizard. Then we have a good old ORAS 50-50 involving Charizard, which is POV ORAS. You see a lot of 50-50s because of how broken Charizard is. And you know, when you spam cores like this, Fire, Rock, Grass, Fire, Water, Grass, you can get a lot of 50-50s. Yeah, I don't know, there's not much else to say. These guys are thinking. This is just a 50-50. Not sure what I would do as either side. I feel like if I'm Scrapped, I just pick Venusaur based on how the series is going. Though it is James 155. Is James 155 really gonna pick Surf? Honestly? Kinda don't think so. So maybe you can just go Tyranitar. There's also the potential of Counter Zard, because the Zard set's ambiguous on the team, so I guess it could. That's definitely potential for Counter Zard. But James also does not have the sauce, so he's not going to be Counter Zard. It kind of hits. Yeah, I think just all the sets are standard in this game, honestly. Not much else to say there. Pretty boring teams. These are pretty boring players as well, honestly. Like Scraftionite has some heat, but I don't think James is just not going to bring heat. Like his Game 2 team shocked me that he brought a team like that when he's not that experienced in ORAS. They're both at 90, so we will see a pick eventually. You can skip ahead in the video to the pick if you want. Oh, it's James picked actually. Dude, my prediction is Charizard to T-Tar, honestly. I think Scrap goes T-Tar. It's like, I don't know, I really don't think James is gonna go Surf here. But, yeah, I've been wrong before. And James sometimes does surprise me when he picks. So, yep, Charizard. Oh, okay. So we do see the Venusaur. So, add a Subzard wins the game. Charizard Mecha Y wins the game. Belly Zard wins the game, even though that's really not a set in ORAS at this stage of the metagame. As for Venusaur, it's kind of a 50-50 because Venusaur wants to click Charm turn 1, but can also Sludge Bomb on the sub. So we'll see how the plays go out. After thinking, James clicks. Charizard Mecha X, Dragon Dance, Sludge Bomb, 36. Okay, so we have the same. Oh, that is a critical hit. Gone. I don't actually know how that magic goes after the Charm turn 1 doesn't happen. I might just be lost for the Venusaur if he doesn't click Charm turn 1 on the DD. Ugh. My neck is sore. Yeah, not sure if that matters when I don't open damage count. But I mean, I kind of assumed that James won after I have to click Sludge Bomb. I think not running Charm is just cheese. I think you have to run Charm and then a Grass move, or your Venusaur is pretty unviable. You could have obviously just expected a sub there and was trying to catch him. And then James might have just not been DD. There's always been, or not sub, he DD'd. You could have just not been sub. Well, he didn't click because of that. So we have game 5 Hype. James, I'm gonna predict James to run back this team, honestly. I think he's gonna bring it again. This is the team that he's brought the most in the laddering phase. And Scrap, who knows what he'll bring. I'm scratching, like, I bring Gyarados, honestly. Gyarados is like 2-1 all of James' team. Alright, here we go. Okay, so we have Victini, Gyarados, Genesect versus Kieran Black, Diancie, Latios. This looks like a Genesect 3L. Okay. So, this looks a lot like a Genesect 3L. I've made this team before. I think it's pretty solid, honestly. When I use it, I expect Victini, but James isn't built like that. Specs Victini, Stone Edge, Gyara, standard Genesect. It's weak to some stall, but it's pretty good. Kinda gets kecked by Audino. And Scraft's team, this is a I'm pretty sure this is the weakness policy reflects Kieran Black, because he does not defeat any steel type as we see the Genesect matchup. The only way that Kieran Black can cheese Genesect is by running a lot of Spadef and HP Fire on specs, which I do not believe Scraftionite is running. So it seems James has gotten the lucky matchup game 5, and I mean, we'll see what happens, but I also just don't see another pick for James, honestly. Like, I really don't like going anything that's not Genesect here anyway. Like, if you're really gonna predict the super bulky, super Spadef specs, maybe you go Victini, but that's just super crap. I wouldn't like that at all. And Scraftionite is probably trying to think of his out here. He doesn't really have an out versus Genesect though. Like, I don't know. It seems pretty lost. So maybe you should go. Maybe you go Lottie. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't see any outs for him here. Okay, like Diancie versus Victini wins, then Kieran Black versus Victini probably loses. I don't know. I'm running under the assumption that this is weakness policy, which I'm like 99% sure it is. And then he just like made a team that loses to steel types and slapped a weakness policy Kieran Black on, and then said I beat steel types, but that does not account for Genesect. So GN. I don't know, maybe Latias can Mr. Eat. And then maybe he's HP Fire Latias. But I mean, I don't know. When you make a team that's just real by every steel type, I don't think you just account for Gen. With the Kieran Black lore. Started really not liking Kieran Black in the meta. A lot of it's because of this, like, especially when you run teams that just sets aren't ambiguous enough with Kieran Black these days. Like, you're winning Dynasty for Charizard, Latias can also be Charizard, so you're probably not a Bonberry, and then you lose to every steel type, so you probably reflect weakness policy. So, yeah. I expect to just see Genesect and then Scrap just goes into whatever he thinks is the best chance. Maybe he does go Kieran Black. And then, I don't know, go for Freeze, because I believe those run Ice Beam Earth Power. Then something else. Dude, imagine if the Kieran Black ends up beating the Genesect. Maybe it is, maybe it's weakness policy HP Fire? Poggers? Poggers? Is that a thing? Is this a thing? It could be a thing. Will we see an over prediction from James and he goes Gyarados? I mean, he could go Gyarados, honestly. It's not, Gyarados like isn't even a bad play here. But yeah, Gyarados honestly isn't that bad when I think about it. Because you just smash Kieran Black. But that can lose to whatever Scrap's actual Gyarados answer is. When Scrap hopes that he just doesn't pick Genesect. I feel like if I'm James, I just always go Genesect here. I don't know. Yeah, because the issue is it's Scarf. So it's not Specs. Shocking. But Scarf might just not kill. And then maybe the Kieran Black is HP Fire. That would be fire if it's weakness policy HP Fire for Genesect. This would be a very unfortunate series. Oh, so we do see the Gyarados. Wow. So what I said might happen did happen. Maybe HP Fire Latias Poggers. So Latias normally run Charm, CM Draco, I believe. Or Reflect type, actually. Whoa, that is a Toxic. That is a Crunch. That does way too much damage. Yeah, that seems to be GG's. I was thinking maybe you can Reflect type and then Charm and stuff. Psyshock, Pepe Hands. Alright, so James wins 3-2. Maybe Scraftion, maybe James just had 2-3-0s that game. I didn't see like 50-50 scared, but it's weird. Unless it's weakness policy Trick Room, which I don't think it is on this team. But anyway. So James wins versus Scrap 3-2. Scrap goes losers bracket. James versus the next round. Thank you all for watching. Peace.